Hello there, what's up? Today I'm starting a brand new exciting series called Coffee Q&A. And this is where I sit down with a cup of coffee and answer your questions that you've been sending in. The only catch is that I am extremely sensitive to coffee. I always end up working solidly for like 4 hours, shaking, or I just get very, very enthusiastic about what I'm talking about and just life in general. So I'm gonna go downstairs, make myself a nice strong brew, and then come up and answer some of your questions that you've been sending in. One for the pot, and then one for myself. Lovely. I love coffee. Right, coffee is in the works. Beautiful. So we are here. Question number 1 of the Coffee Q&A, episode 1, season 1. This is it. First question. It's by a guy called Andrew. And he sent in, any ideas how to make money off your videos? And also, do you insure any of your gear? Fantastic couple of questions, Andrew. Any ideas on how to make money off your videos? Andrew, my friend, there is so many ways you can make money from videos. There is so many ways. I'm going to try and describe all of them now. Not in too much detail, just to give you some ideas about how you can actually make money from videos. So this is very broad. Number 1 way I can think. Start your own video production business, like I've done in the past, and make videos for companies. Number 2, make videos on YouTube. Grow your YouTube channel until it gets to a lot of subscribers, a lot of videos, then make money from ads from YouTube. Number 3, use video to build up an audience in a community and then sell them products, either information products or maybe affiliate products. Just build up a community through connecting with people on video and then sell those people stuff that they're interested in. Also recording high quality video to be used as stock footage and then selling that to people who might want to buy that clip to use in one of their videos. So say for example, somebody wanted to have a big establishing shot of Barcelona, but they couldn't afford to fly somebody out to Barcelona to then just to get this one time-lapse establishing shot of the city. So instead, they just go on the internet, they see a clip, this perfect clip, that exactly what they wanted, they buy that for $20, they have the clip, and then you get $20 passively, passive income, people just buying your clip. So that's another way of making money through videos. And do you insure any of your gear? I don't know. I mean, I do. On my camera, especially when I took my camera traveling, back when I bought it, it cost about £600. It's not worth that much anymore. But when I was traveling, yeah, for sure, I insured my camera globally. It didn't cost too much, maybe about $60 or something for a year to insure the camera against breakages and things like that. And actually, I did once in, where was it? It was in Brazil. We were basically sliding down waterfalls for the whole day. We were sliding down. It was the best day ever. And then on the way back, you had to walk along this muddy path next to the river. And basically, I had my backpack and my camera in my backpack with the lens attached and everything. And I was walking down this hill and I just slipped, like literally like a cartoon or something, slipped on the mud and just went bam straight on my back. And I just heard like a and I was like, oh no. Everyone was laughing. They were like, ah. And they just saw my face and I was like, this isn't good. Oh, what's wrong? I was like, I've just broken my camera. Got the camera out of my bag and the lens was just like completely smashed off the camera body, like dangling there with some wires and shit. And I was just absolutely devastated. But actually, maybe in 3 days, we went to a big city. I got it fixed and it got completely paid for by the insurance. So it's always worth it, especially cheap insurance. It's just so nice. Alvaro. So Alvaro asks, hey man, what app do you use for editing videos? What do you recommend? Sick video butter. And then another person, unfortunately, who has not unfortunately, but they've written their name in Chinese letters, so I can't understand the name. It says your videos are awesome. I have a question. Which video edit program do you use and which one is good? So 2 of the same questions. The editing program that I use is something called Adobe Premiere. And I used to use Final Cut Express, which cost about $100, maybe. I ate like years and years ago I used to use this. In fact, years and years ago I started editing videos on my phone. Then I moved to iMovie. Then I moved to Final Cut Express. And now finally I'm on Adobe Premiere, which is a great program. I highly recommend it. But as I always say, if you can't afford it, do not worry. Edit on anything. It really doesn't matter unless you're doing really kind of fiddly high-end stuff. It doesn't matter what editing program you use. This is such an over-asked question when people should just be editing videos and just cracking on with it with whatever they have. So, a question from Rory. Great movie. What are your GoPro resolution settings? And we have another related question from Kestas, which is, hey, what type of GoPro are you using? I'm planning to buy my first one. Let me get my GoPro. I have the GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition. It is amazing. I freaking love this camera. It's the best one that you can buy at the moment. When I say best, like the highest end / most expensive. The reason why I got the black is because I've actually got an LCD screen attached to the back as well. That's why it looks quite chunky at the moment. The reason why I bought the black is because it can shoot in 4K at 30 frames per second, and it can also shoot 2.7K at 60 frames per second. And this kind of moves on to the other question about what my resolution settings are. I pretty much always shoot in 2.7K with 60 FPS. And I don't shoot in 4K because, at the moment anyway, the file sizes are huge, and my camera that I'm filming this on doesn't shoot 4K, so none of my videos are going to be completely 4K. So I bought this to be future-proof, so when I do get a better camera, everything can be 4K. But the fact that it can shoot 60 frames per second on 2.7K is amazing. So this is the setting that I use the whole time. So it's not quite as high quality as 4K, but it's still like twice the resolution of HD. And the fact that it can shoot 60 frames per second means I can slow everything down, which is amazing, and it gives that kind of really rich kind of sensory feel when everything is in slow motion, which is really cool. Okay, another question here. Tom, do you shoot at 60 frames per second and then slow it down for the slow-mo, or do you shoot at 120 frames per second? So very related. In my iPhone, I shoot at 60 frames per second. My GoPro, I shoot at 60 frames per second. I also do really cool slow-mo on my main camera here. And this is actually a tutorial in my program, Editing Mastery, where I go through completely how I use slow-mo, in which situation I use slow-mo, which is way too complicated to explain here. So if you want to find more about that, I highly recommend checking out Editing Mastery, but that's another matter entirely. I always shoot in 60 frames per second. I don't have anything that can shoot in 120 frames per second, unless I think my phone can, but I think the quality reduces loads, so I never use it. I do shoot at like 25 frames per second on my camera, but I can slow that right down as if it was filmed at like 300 frames per second, all in editing software, which is amazing. So yeah, that's all in Editing Mastery. Oh yeah, it's worth mentioning as well, this program Editing Mastery, it's actually half price when you buy the Travel Video Bootcamp first. And that's the one I talk about. The Travel Video Bootcamp, $7. Go ahead and check that out. And then that's a much more cost-efficient way for you guys to be able to get Editing Mastery. Because once you buy that, you can get Editing Mastery half price. And you'll get an email explaining that once you've bought the TVB. Okay, so we've got another question from Alina. What's up, Alina? Hey Thomas, I've got 2 questions. Since when are you filming as a professional, as you do now? And do you have a girlfriend? Greetings from Germany. By the way, you are so cute and sexy. Also because of your nice videos. Thank you, Alina. I'm sure you are as well. I just don't know what you look like. Since when are you filming as a professional? Technically, since I was like 15. I got paid money for a film that I made for this American horror company. They contacted me through, I had this old YouTube account with loads of horror videos, like horror comedy videos, and they wrote to me saying, hey, Thomas will pay you maybe I think it was $200 if you make this video out of the script. So that was kind of the first time I got paid. So that's professional, but really, realistically, professional work has probably been, it's been about 2 years. Yeah, coming up to 2 years now, maybe 1.5 years. Since I dropped, some of you probably won't know this, but I went to university for a year and then I quit after a year, and that's when I started my video production business. So it's been about 1.5 years since I've been doing it professionally. As for the second question, No comment. We have another question that's just come in. Fikeo, I think is how you say it. Hey, I don't know if this is coming in too late, but here's my question. Just on time, Fikeo. How would you go about making a short documentary film? Like, what kind of shots would be good for that? What kind of shots would be good for a short documentary film, and how would you go about it? Most people think that documentary is all about just kind of turning up somewhere and filming and just capturing it. But in reality, the best documentary films are planned so hard. They're planned like crazy amounts that you wouldn't even expect, even to the extent that some documentary films, they research so much about the subjects that they know exactly what they're going to say in answer to all the questions. So they basically write a script, kind of almost predicting what they're going to say, and then they just ask the questions, get the information on the camera, and then they've got all the cutaways already because they know what they're going to say. So there's kind of a lot of it is it's kind of playing with the truth a little bit. But so advice for a short documentary is plan it all in advance. Really know the characters that are going to be in your film. Documentaries are usually all about the people. So you need to find out as much about that person who's going to kind of lead the film as you can. And then you'll be able to probe really deep, and you want to get as deep as you can into why they're talking about what they do. You really want to go deep. So find out all about them, do your research in advance, have a Skype with them, whatever, before you do the interview with them. And then you can sit them down, get them really relaxed and get them to open up, which is going to make really compelling viewing. In terms of shots, I would use, just classic interview shots. It depends on what I can't really answer this question because it depends on what you're trying to communicate. If it's just going to be somebody sitting down and they're talking about something that's really, maybe they're a prisoner, I have no idea, maybe they're an ex-convict or something, and they've got a really kind of hard, gritty story to tell, then you'd light them, you'd have the shot maybe quite close, and you'd light them very harshly with a cold light. Or maybe it's going to be some supermodel talking about her chihuahua, then you're going to use really soft lighting to make her look as great as possible. It completely depends. Shots as well, man. Like, do you want to make it really fast paced? Then you kind of use like shaky shots with loads of zooms. Do you want to make it very kind of fly on the wall, observational? Use almost like CCTV shots to capture the reality. So it's just stuff that you need to think about ultimately. Anyway, this has been an awesome coffee Q&A. I really enjoyed the questions that you guys sent in. I'm feeling great from the very strong coffee that I had. And send in more questions, comment below this video. Reply to the email that you would have got if you're on the email list. If you're not on the email list, come on, what are you doing? Get on that. Download the gear list that will be in the description below. Get onto the email list, and then we can kind of have these back and forths where I help you guys out. So until next time, have a great day. Keep filming and speak soon.